I'm Chef Maria, the Fit Foodie. Today I'm going to share some of the interesting facts about drinking vinegar.
Really? I mean, given everything that's going on, do people really have to be promoting this kind of crap? Roll intro.
Now you might be thinking to yourself, why would I want to do that?
Yes, why would I want to do that? Why would I want to put something that tastes as revolting as vinegar actually does into my body? Why would I want to be adding something that's an acid into something that's already acidic? Granted, vinegar is actually less acidic than stomach acid, so it doesn't really increase the acidity of your stomach, but you're still putting this acid down your throat, which can, depending on how acidic the vinegar actually is, burn your throat. Why the fuck would you want to do that?
There are enormous health benefits and really a history of drinking vinegar over thousands and thousands of years, starting with my ancestors, the ancient Egyptians.
Look, just because your ancestors did something a long fucking time ago doesn't mean that you should be doing it now. A long time ago, people sacrificed lambs on the altar. A couple of centuries ago, people drilled holes in their heads to let the evil spirits out. And only 100 years ago, people were still performing frontal lobotomies to stop people having fits and being incredibly stupid. Now, I'm not saying you're incredibly stupid and need a frontal lobotomy, but
they used to drink vinegar as a way to control their weight. And even Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, used apple cider vinegar specifically to help with weight control, digestion, and a number of different health issues.
Seeing as how you're so fond of Hippocrates, why don't we find out a few things about him? He was born between 460 BC and 375 BC. Which is a long fucking time ago. I mean, not quite as long ago as some of these ancient Egyptians that you're related to, but you get my picture. And the problem with him as a historical figure, as it is with many historical figures, is there isn't that much information about him that we can totally trust. There are only 6 medical writings that have survived that have been attributed to him, but we're also pretty convinced that most of them weren't actually written by him. And the one thing that he is really, really known for, the Hippocratic Oath, it is highly suspected that he did not write that either. So looking up to him as the father of modern medicine as we do is a bit of a misnomer, because we don't really know how much of an influence he had. Yes, we know he was a major medical scholar back then, and that's mostly the limit. However, there are a couple of things that we do know, and one of them kind of points to how much I'd rely on what he says you should do. You know, a pupil of Aristotle stated in his History of Medicine the views of Hippocrates. Now, apparently, Hippocrates believed that diseases, namely that undigested residues that are produced by unsuitable diet and create vapors from the stomach, is what causes you to be sick. So no concept of germs or bacteria, infection, all of those things. No. The old-fashioned vapors and pseudoscience. Well, pseudoscience compared to what we know now. I mean, back then, yes, they were just starting out, just learning. So putting your faith in something Hippocrates may or may not have said you should do, like drinking vinegar, is a little bit of a dum-dum.
Now, what I like to do is I'll just take regular drinking water, and for every, about maybe 5 to 6 ounces, I'll add a teaspoon of vinegar in.
Okay, so what you're actually saying when you say you like to drink vinegar is that you like to have slightly tangy tasting water. The amount of vinegar you're putting in that entire glass of water is negligible. You have watered down that vinegar so much that it's not going to have any beneficial effects for you. That's if it did have any beneficial effects in the first place.
And I like using the apple cider vinegar that's raw and unfiltered because it's really the purest and most pristine of all of the vinegars. It's the least processed. And just drink it up. I'll add a little bit of stevia too, just to make it just slightly more palatable. But
really? You don't like the taste of it, so you're going to add an artificial sweetener, which aren't particularly healthy for you in the first place. But sure, go ahead, do that. Why are you drinking this stuff in the first place if you don't like it?
But personally, I don't mind the taste of the vinegar, and the more you drink it, the more you'll get used to it.
And lobsters in a pot that you slowly rise the temperature up on will slowly boil alive and not even try to climb out of the pot. Is that who you are, the person not climbing out of the pot?
Now, this is an interesting fact that I read, that when it comes to diabetics or people that have a tendency to spike their insulin, drinking vinegar can actually help with that as well.
Let's look at the reality of this claim here. Here's the study relating to controlling blood sugar levels with vinegar. A small, significant reduction in mean HbA1c, which is the blood test results, was observed after 8 to 12 weeks of vinegar administration. However, other long-term outcomes, whilst they may have favoured vinegar, were not significant in their results. So they did not pass the mean value to achieve significance within the study. So in 8 to 12 weeks, you could lower your blood sugar level a little bit by drinking a bit of vinegar each day. And basically have no other effects at all in relation to diabetes. So, is it worth it? Are you better off giving up your insulin and start drinking vinegar every day? Well, I think if I was diabetic, and my mum is diabetic, so I know about diabetes, I wouldn't be drinking vinegar every day to control it. I think I might stick with my insulin.
So, if you're eating carbohydrates and you're drinking water with vinegar in it, it can help you to metabolize that sugar even better. So I say, give it a try, and here's to your health. I'm Chef Maria, the Fit Foodie. Tastes really good. And I'll see you really soon.
Well, Chef Maria, I hope I don't see you soon, because that advice was pretty crappy as far as I'm concerned. Listen, if you like a little bit of a taste of vinegar in your water, fine. Add that little tartiness to your drink. Perfectly fine. Ultimately, it's not really going to hurt you. Not at the diluted amounts that she's using. But if you think that this is going to make major significant improvements to your health and well-being, because this woman told you so, then you, like her, are sadly deluded. So please, be mindful of your health. Trust the real doctors to give you the real medical advice, and not some quack health promoting person, supposed health promoting person on the internet. Which means you probably shouldn't trust me either. But hey, don't trust me, look it up for yourself. There's a link to that study in the description, as well as the Encyclopedia Britannica article about Hippocrates. And thank you so much for tuning in. And please, if you haven't subscribed already, please like and subscribe my video and click the little bell so you know when I'm bringing out new content. And remember, please, whatever you do, I'm begging you, please, don't choke on the selfie stick.